Alright guys and girls, welcome back to another tutorial video. So I am in Unity at the top here, as you can see, Unity. This is the 2019.4.25 F1 personal version. Means I'm just using it personally for myself. But I am building worlds in Unity to actually sort of put into alt space for myself, so people can come in, they can check out the worlds and all that. So we're just going to do a sort of, right, so basically we've got a plain area here. There's nothing here. It's actually clean as a whistle. So what we're going to do, we're going to start building something small. Something with trees and all this kind of stuff, like nice little. So what we're going to do, we're going to go on to our right side. We've got all our assets there as well. We've got all our prefabs, all our models, all the materials to make what we want to make, and make it look good. But also I'm going to be showing you do a little bit of baking as well, because thing is, when you do sort of this kind of stuff, you need to bake it, and baking can take some time to bake, so this might be like a two-part episode into the series. So what we're going to do first, I need to find my islands. Where is it? Forest. No, we don't want the forest. 3 islands. Now you can download these off Unity. Unity is actually free if you're doing it for yourself. If you're doing it with a company, I think they charge like $230 or $299 or something, including tax or something. But if you're just doing it for yourself, which I am, and I'm learning to use it as well for maybe doing future projects, this will be quite cool for you guys and girls to check out as well. So at the top here we have the window. Now this is going to have your rendering, lighting settings. This is I'm still working on the settings on the lighting. I'm still not 100% sure on where to go with it, but we are working with it. That's the main thing. So what we're going to do first is put, so we're going to go to environments, going to go to terrain, we're going to go to terrains, and we're going to just pick one of these ones. Now this lot I think here is not terrains, that's just like ground mesh to put your terrains on. So we don't want that, so we're going to clean that one out of the way. We'll probably just go for this one here. Aha. So this is the one I've been sort of working on, and I think this is this the one where it's aha, hang on, I think this is the one where I've got that's one where I've put loads of trees in at the moment. And this is where I've actually started doing my work on. Now obviously when you go back a little bit, the trees disappear because I think it's of the rendering, of it depends how the distance, the further away you are, the less RAM is used basically, so there's nothing from a distance that you can't see. So I would just so let me just delete this terrain a minute. And see if is it this one? Okay, so we're under the terrain at the moment. I just want a clean terrain to start with. Terrains are basically like your, I mean you could build one or you could just download ones. I downloaded this personally for free because I didn't want to have to have the hassle of actually putting everything together, like stones, rocks. I mean it's not difficult, but obviously it's time consuming as well. So so we've got this nice little terrain here, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to find a sweet spot to put a camp up. Right. I was thinking maybe, actually, I don't know, have we got enough room up on top of the hills? And then like a little flat surface where we can just sort of camp up and start doing things, majigs. Okay, so I think right bang in the middle, I think would be good. Right bang in the middle of the mountains. Like this is a nice little trekking area that we're going to be sort of doing. Okay, so we're going to camp up here. We've got these nice little leaves here. And we don't want to sort of run through the settings too quickly. Okay, so now we need to sort of prep our area of where we're going to sort of land or camp up. So we'll go to campfire. Actually, what we'll do, we'll go to the all prefabs because they're already basically done. Let's try. Actually, is it prefabs? Because I've got a lot of material in here. Actually, I think it's all models. Actually, it's in the model section. Is it model section? Yeah, there's the model section. So we've got ourselves a model bonfire. So we're going to set up the bonfire just about there. Then we're going to lift it up a little bit. Now, if you guys and girls want to move or have the arrows upwards and you don't know how to do it, or if you want to twist it in turns or rotate, so basically you've got your panels at the top, so you've got your hand tool, so you can pick that the camera, so you can move the camera. This is just to move the camera around to position yourself, so you know. So obviously we know that's not actually level to the ground, and it's got a slight tweak to it, so we need to rotate it a little bit so we can get that because we know the mountains are basically on the edge. It's like a sort of almost on a diagonal sort of thing, so we need to set this down so it's flat. Okay, so I need to sort of go forward a little bit like that, and I think we need to go like that and just get it in that perfect. Okay, so actually what I need to do, might need to come forward a little bit. I mean, it doesn't have to be 100% perfect, so about there I think it'd be alright. I think so obviously it's in the ground a little bit, but if you want it perfect, sort of, there we go. Yeah, that'd do, I think. Yeah, that'd be perfect. Somewhat perfect. Right, so this is our campfire. This is where we're going to be doing our bonfire. This is where we're going to camp up and get like loads of well, to be honest, this is where the spawn point's going to be. We're going to put the spawn point in there, but we're going to put the spawn point in there afterwards, after we're sort of sorted out, and I will get to that bit later on into the series. So now we need our particle effect. Now our particle effect, to be precise, is going to be in prefabs, I think. Yeah, so it's called torch. So this is what we need. So now, as you can see it light glowing. Now this is our glow. So, and you can see it's on fire. We need to lift that slightly up. And actually it's on an angle, so we don't want that on an angle. I mean, unless it's a wind, unless it's quite windy of some sort. So now I can sort of move that around into the fire and just make sure it's actually level into the fire. Alright, that's perfect. That's really good. Probably need a little bit higher, not too much, just about there I think. Yeah, is that perfect? Yeah, okay. So we got that sorted out. Now we need the sound effect. And how we do this is our sound effect. We need to bring audio into it. Right, so we know what we're doing. Right, so this is the particles played back. Obviously, I don't know what the what's the particles on it. Oh, so max particles 1,000. So obviously, because it's a low low particle, it's not too high. 1,000's next to nothing, pretty much, especially on low polygons. So what we're going to do now is click on to here. Now this is what we need. We'll go to add, and we're going to go to down to the bottom, audio source. Now what you need to do for audio sources is change the volume roll off. Now I recommend putting it on linear roll off, which means basically anything within the distance you're going to hear it, or if you're close to it, backwards or forwards, depending on the max distance and the minimum distance. So for the max distance, I would put this around 10. So I'm going to put 10 on there. And I'm going to put the spatial blend to 3D audio. Now see this bar here? This bar here, the green one, going up and down on the right hand side at the bottom. Just this little thing here. This is your spatial bar. So what you need to do is you need to put this to 3D sound. So that means when you go around this entire fire, the sound you'll be getting will be coming all the way around that area. It'll be coming all the way around. Now, for the sound effect to work and to actually get that spatial audio, that 3D sound, you need an audio file. So you got audio clip, and for me to use an audio clip, I need to go to my assets because I actually put one here earlier. Right, so we got, oh actually one thing I did forget to mention, actually volume. I'd put this volume down to around about 500 for the fire itself, because you don't want it too loud, and this is the volume for the fire itself. So what we're going to do now is go to the file, audio file or audio clip, audio source. So you've got audio source, which is in your inspector on your right hand side. So this is your inspector where you can do all your casting, the shadows. You've got your bonfire, you've got your elements, you've got the size, got the mesh, the transformation, how big you want, the position, rotation and scale. So you could have a big massive fire if you want, but I recommend just keeping it all at 1, because to be honest, bonfires are not that big unless you want a big one. You can change the size on it, but then you would have to sort of change the file size on the flame as well. So you click, so if I click on the fire, look at that, that's beautiful. Look, you've got a nice little bright fire. Now what we need to do first of all is click on here a minute, and we need to go to audio source and non-audio clip. That means there's no audio actually attached to it, so we need to add one to it. So if we go to fire, which is this one here, actually see if I can, see if you can actually hear it. I don't know if you can hear it or not. Let's have a listen. Okay, so that is the audio file. What we need to do is hold the left button down and drag this to the, where is it? I need to click on here first, because you've got to click on that just to make sure you bring this box up. So for the audio, so what we need to do is hold the left button on the mouse drag this over to audio clip, and we should be good. Now, obviously, it's daytime. Why would you need to sort of have a bonfire during the day? Some people do, but out and about. Also, we're setting up camp here, so we need to bring in some mushrooms, because there's probably some mushrooms around. Put a couple of mushrooms around there, a couple of toadstools, because you never know, because when you're out in the countryside, sometimes you see all these little, like, mushrooms around. And a lot of all this assets you can download for free, or you can buy them and stuff. I've bought quite a few assets so far. So I'm just setting up the asset. Now, some of these will go into the ground naturally. Some you might have to press into the ground a little bit. Now, what we need to do is get our little tents. And don't forget, same procedure as last time. Obviously, we need a good setting. So obviously, look at that, it's not on an angle properly. And obviously, with it being a tent and all that, we need to rotate it. So if we can rotate it on an angle slightly, so we can sort of, right, might need to lift it up slightly. Now that needs to go up a little bit more, a lot more, I think. Now sometimes it's very hard if it's not on a flat surface to actually wind up in the ground. So obviously, to an extent, it's okay. We'll just leave it around about there. I think that might be okay. Let's have a look around the other side. So I can just move that around. Yeah, that one's slightly in the ground. Alright, so what we need to do is just tilt that sideways, and then just lift that, set that. Right, and let's have a look. Obviously, it's some of it's in the ground. Well, some of it is very hard to get in. So, I mean, obviously, that do for now, sort of demonstration wise, in a way at least. I mean, I've got the stumps there. I've got to make sure those are in the ground. Let's have a look. Yeah, that'll be right, I think. Alright, so we've got our tent up, we've got our fire up. What else do we need? Maybe a couple barrels. Maybe they brought some barrels to take with them. So if we can put a couple barrels down there, probably put one. Sometimes some people sit on them, don't they, and all that. So we can. Okay. We could do this as a sort of a mystery island or something. Now we've got the shadows there. We've got the actual shadows. But first thing we need to do is actually bake these. Actually, now we're going to get some of these things in it, because we're going to have to bake all this to get the right temperature or the right lighting source. Right. Okay, because that's on an angle, it looks like it's going down. under it. And then what we do, because we haven't got a seat for the people. I'm actually recording all this on my iMac as well, so sort of working on it at least anyway. So we've got a chair there, or one of those logs as a chair, and then we're going to have another right around there. Right, there we go, and now we need to turn this one slightly, so we can use these little arrows to turn. Now, in all honesty, guys and girls, I'm still learning to do this, to work out, but I've been playing Unity, or using Unity. I wouldn't say playing, because it's not a game, it's actually an app where you're working constantly to produce decent sceneries and all this kind of stuff. I mean, you can make stuff as well. I do want to make a cave system. I've got to download a cave system for it though, where I can just dig in like a local area. So basically this mountain here, I could put a cave system in just by digging straight in, but I've got to download or buy an app for it to go into it. It's not an app actually, it's a part of Unity, so it's an asset, so I can sort of do that as well. And also I want to sort of teach other people as well how to use this, like easy tutorials. I wouldn't say it's like quick, but it will be easier if I show you guys and girls step by step. So it wasn't easy from the start, but I'm starting to grasp what I'm supposed to be doing and how to build, and it's quite cool. It's a bit like Minecraft in a way, because you're basically building stuff from scratch, and it's absolutely fun. I mean, I could just build, I could sit here all day, which actually I've been sitting here for the last week or so, just messing around with it. Been testing worlds out in Space, which is a fantastic place to start if you want to do beginning world building. Right, so now what I need to go, got that in there, that's great. I should need that slightly back separated there a little bit. And that's separated. And that's separated there. And just get a little bit like that. So we've got a bit of a distance between the woods, between the things there. Now that we've got that sorted out as a campfire, or slight campfire, it's not sort of finished yet. There is no rocks around, so what can I do is just add some basic rocks. So I'm going to put those in there, and then probably put one of those there as well. Or nick of the shadows as well, but unfortunately with the shadows, because they're realistic ones, you can't do realistic shadows. I think in Space, I think you can, but I think it has to be done with Blender or some sort. So we'll just put another one there, just making sure it's all filled up, because got to make sure quite high up. And as we'll probably put a couple more mushrooms around to scatter them around. Right. Actually, I should be able to grasp more actually as well, for the entire lot. Right, okay, so what I need to do, probably put a couple more barrels there. Right. Okay. What else do we need? Probably some logs. Well, depending how many people are around, probably need another, probably tent down here as well, I bet. So we can sort of pitch up another tent. Right. Right, and then we can move that into the ground. Yeah. And what about this side? Yeah, I'll be right, I think. Obviously, it could be a lot better, but actually, right, actually need to lift that up, that front bit a little bit. Right. Okay, well, that have to do for now. Because it's only gonna. I'm not trying to make this video too long. Just enough sort of so you can grasp what I'm doing, guys and girls. Right. So, obviously, we need. What else do we need? Oh, we have a couple crates of boxes. Right, so just make sure that's not too much in the ground. And can we get that one up slightly? Like there. Okay, like that, nicely. And that's nicely done. And obviously, we've also got a couple of these. Probably don't know what these are. These are model torch. So you could use these as well to put flames and fires in. So I'll probably put a couple of those around. Okay, and now what I need to do, because that's a model torch and it's all in there, so I need to get that light in there, lift that slightly. Now that's out of the thing there, it's not actually in the box. Alright, there we go. Actually, I need to straighten that out. Alright, and then slightly move this over and then move that inwards. And just making sure okay, so that's slightly to the okay. Now we need to straighten that fire out. There we go. So that should be good. and one more on this side, and to add another flame, and that's not even straight either, so we need to straighten that flame out and lift that out here, move it out. That's outside the box, I think. Yeah, that's outside, so we need to add that, and okay, so we can move that inwards. Oh, we can move that slightly out, like that. Making sure that is. There we go. So yeah, that'd do. That'd be fine. But actually, what I need to do quickly is go there, go to my assets, go to fire, audio again. So we're going to do the same again, and we're going to add that audio clip of the fire. Go there, because you've got to make it so realistic. So I'm going to put that on at 10 again. Do the same method, linear, 3D, and the audio source down to around 505. Not too loud, but, and also to make it so it's realistic, do it for this one as well. So what we need to do is add audio source, fire, and put that on linear and at 10 as well. So go linear. Oh, and one thing as well, I keep making mistakes sometimes, and I need to stop doing this. I need to put this on loop. Now, when you put an audio file on a loop, it'll keep going all the time. It'll start rolling over. It'll keep doing the same thing. So basically, it makes it sound like it's not run out. So it just loops the same audio. So when the audio finishes and normally cuts out, this will carry on and it'll restart back to start, and it'll just keep looping. So it gives you that realistic sound of fire continuously. So what we need to do is actually in spatial audio blend to 3D, and also we're going to put that to around about 500. So that's to 500, and 3D, linear 1 to 10. So max 10 distance is around about 10 feet, maybe less. I think it's less than 10 feet of audio sound. So I need to put the loop on this one over here as well, because if I don't, then the sound's going to go a bit funny, and it's going to cut off, and it's not going to bring that realism of fire. Now, what we need to do now is go to this fire over here and do the same with this one. Whew. So put that on a loop. So that's on a loop. That's on a loop. And then we've got the main fire over here, which is on a loop as well. And that's play on awake. So when you go into a room, straight away it turns on. The audio turns on straight away, guys and girls, continuously. And it will do it continuously and stuff and all that, unless I don't put a loop on it. And if I do put a loop on it, it'd be fantastic. Now, the next bit of doing this, to add. Now, we've got two methods to add in trees. You could do it on a terrain setting. So if I click on here, I can add paint a tree. So if I go paint terrain or paint tree. Now what we need to do is got brush sizes. So I'm going to put this up to so actually I'll probably put that onto the lowest one. Is that the lowest? Yeah, so that one. Tree density. So you can have up to 80 odd trees, I believe. I only want, say, 1 tree, or lowest 10. Not 10, but obviously the lowest number possible. Now, so if I want to just paint a couple of trees in the area, let's just click on this one. These ones I did earlier. So if I click 1, there's 1 tree. There's 2 trees. There's 3 trees. And 4, 5, 6. And you can just sort of put them, scatter them around. Scatter them around. And that one. And that one. Just put them around really. I usually just put as many as I can around the area. But I've noticed as well that these trees do not do not spawn straight away, or the leaves don't, at least anyway. So I'm just scattering a couple. I'll probably put some up on top of the hills. I'd rather actually put them in separate like this. Then just like a bulk. You can put a bulk in. So actually, let's just show you, demonstrate you on a bulk. First of all, right? Because I like to sort of try and keep these as a way of trying to. Let me just put these here for a sec. A couple of them just in there. You can have as many trees as you want, and it won't impact on the performance, which is bloody brilliant actually when you're doing this. So obviously night time as well is really when it gets good at night time. So what we want to do is just click in some of these ones a minute. Now I could just put a couple right next to each other. Now also I've noticed as well, I can actually do the tree height, so I can have some smaller ones, I can have a couple taller ones, big massive tall ones, trees, just mix them up and all that. And just have some massive trees in there. You can mix them up. You can have some small tiny trees or huge trees. Make it into a forest actually. But what we're going to do, just planting these a minute in the area, because I'm making a small like little forest. Nothing too crazy. Depending on each section of the forest that I'm basically doing. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to go over here and I'll show you guys and girls what we mean by bulking them up. Now you can bulk a lot of trees up, right? Let's put a couple of these standard trees over here a minute. Oh, actually, the good thing as well, you can actually go like that. You can hold the mouse button down and just scroll across, and you can have like loads of them going there at the same time. So you can put like tons and tons of trees in there, which actually works pretty cool. Look at that! Look at that little trail. So you could do like a little trail, nice little trails of trees. Nice little circle. And a nice little circle of trees. But if you want to put like loads and loads of trees in a vast amount of time, is a little technique for you. On here we have tree height. So what we're going to do is going to lower that down because I don't want many big ones. I want sort of medium sized ones. You can change the color variation as well, variations of different colors. But what we're going to do is we're going to change the density. Now this is where it gets interesting because it's 10 is density, 10 equals 1. So if we put in 20, let's have a look. Alright, so the density means they're thicker and all that. So if you want, I think it was, I'm fucking trying to remember, is it this one? No, so basically you can have up to 80, 60 odd. I think actually, is that the one? Random trees. So you can, because I'm pretty sure there was the one where I clicked on it, it was like loads of them. Now I'm pretty sure the density means you can have up to... no, it's not allowing me to bulk them up for some reason. Random trees. Oh, actually, I think it's all because it's a random tree rotation. So you can rotate the trees, terrains. Actually, and on. So, edit trees. Edit to tree. So, okay, so you can mess around with the tree. I think you can. I think there was one where you can put like loads of trees, and I think there was a selector of them all. Paint details, terrain settings. But what we'll do, we'll leave that one for now because I'll do a video for that one separate. But obviously, you can add loads of trees. You can just put them in, scatter them all over. So in a way, you can put as many trees as you want, really. Actually, just scatter them around, just making them sort of nice and it just kind of mixes them up as well, and all the terrain. But what we're going to do now, we're going to go on to the next part of this video, and we're going to quickly do a thing on the video where we're going to colorize the sky. So we're going to make it, so obviously we haven't got, I've just left the sky to its normal degree. So that there at the top, that's the normal sky. This is the one with Unity started in from the first place. So what we're going to do is go to the top here. We're going to close the untitled. We're just going to click on, I think it's the terrain. I think it's, hang on. Alright, main camera. We're going to scroll down to the model bonfire. Get rid of that directional light. We don't need the directional light when we're going to be creating our own lighting setting just in seconds. So what we're going to do now is we've selected basically, and we need to select all this. So we can select all that. So the terrains, the models, the fires, and all that kind of stuff, and the torch. Now, right. So all the torches, actually, the torches. So what we're going to do is going to put that on static. Do you want to enable the static flags for all child objects? Yes. Except for this one, we don't need it on the flames or the other flames. because we're not changing those colours. Torch, model torch, model torch, model torch. There's only torch as well. Take that off. Bonfire. So everything else should be exactly where we want it. So what we've done now is we're going to go to the top, go to the window, go to the general, and we're going to go to, I think it's actually, no, not window, actually rendering lighting settings. Intensity 1, skybox. So what we're going to do is going to change that to color. So that's just bland now. It's absolutely bland. So what we want is to make it as not too colorized, but sort of nighttime-ish. So I'm going to go there. We're going to drop that down. So as you can see, the whole settings is changing. So you've got the whole settings for the trees and the terrain. So we don't want it so it's too dark, but obviously a bit of nighttime scenes. So we can walk through the forest and we just have that main sort of nighttime scene. And then we can add the sky in later on. Separate, actually, we could do that separate. So what we're doing now, so going to hit back to the rendering settings, lighting settings. Everything's done there the way it should be. Intensity, indirect intensity, all this kind of stuff should be the way it's supposed to be. I think it was 40, light map resolution 40. Light map padding 2, light map size 1024, and then just press on this. This should, right, so save scene. So I'm going to save the scene, and we're going to call this Night Forest. Night Forest 2.1. And on the right hand side it's baking, so it will have a little time on it of how long it's going to take to bake the entire lot. Now I'm using the iMac 2020 version. Obviously the new one's coming out this year. Obviously look at the light there is basically light at the moment because it has to turn the lights off. Now there we go, it's dimmed the lights down. And what's going to do now is going to create that environment of light, and then I will be able to export that to Altspace later on. But because I can't do it directly through Altspace on my iMac, I have to do it another way, an alternative way of doing it. So this is going to take about 4 minutes and 20 seconds to do. Says playback time, speed rate of 3.1 minus 3.1, simulate layers. So basically we're going to show you the entire process of how to bake the light. Thanks to a friend of mine, Bracer Jack, who does videos on his YouTube channel as well. Do check him out, guys and girls. He does some great tutorial videos. But I was in Altspace with him yesterday and he walked me through the settings to put it on for the best settings just so I can get it really good. And he said to tweak the intensity up and down wherever I like it and stuff. So also we've got all this on a loop. The fire's on the loop, the audio's on the loop, the sounds and all this kind of stuff and the ambient noises. So it's 3 minutes and 10, 2 minutes and 40, so it's quite fast. It does it pretty fast. I have an i7 inside my iMac, So all this will be basically working through it, this entire sort of process. It's a long process if you want to get it perfectly the way you want it to be, and then just upload it to Oatspace later on. Yeah, but I mean, it'd be quite cool. But this is, like I'd say, this is sort of the best way to do it, to get the best out of it, because I don't really do much of the Blender. I'm working on Blender as well, sort of doing bits and bobs on there, but I prefer using Unity for everything. I will be doing a tutorial video once I buy some cave system sort of things going on to show you how to do it. Right, so there we go, that's done. And that total bake time 2 minutes and 50 seconds. So that's actually baked the entire island. That is amazing how it's done the entire island on it. Baked the entire lot. So that's pretty cool. So now all we need to do now is, because it's finished, it's stopped, and it's got 3 directional light maps with shadow masks at 3 times 124 by 124 px. I think that's pixels, but 12.0 megabytes. And now, as you can see, the entire landscape is dark, but obviously it's not too dark. The trees are just about right, and now what we need to do is just add some sky to it, and then we're done. And we can add so I'm probably going to add different ones, because you've got different sort of things there, and you can actually walk all over this entire island as well, which is amazing. Might put this one here actually, because I think that one looks pretty cool. Or is it this one? I don't know, so I'll try different ones. What about this one? Because we want it so it looks like it's almost morning, like it's not too sort of dark and it's not too light, but you're just walking through the woods, and it will look absolutely amazing. Alright, so, or maybe we can put, ooh. Okay, so we've got a nice night sky there, like sort of morning. We could probably do like a nice morning clouds. Oh, what about this one? I need it in a good position, really. Actually, you can change the position of the actual thing, so basically you can have it in the directions that you want it to. Wow, look at that. That looks incredible. And then you've got the red sky. Oh, what about this? Oh wow, look at that. That is just incredible. Oh, even better. That looks absolutely amazing. There's so many of these like skyboxes. It's just like really good. So what about this one? How's that one? Oh, that'd be good over the hills, but let's have a look. Oh, now that is impressive. I think we're gonna keep that one actually, because this is gonna be like our campfire. I might put some rain here, around here, some rain, storm clouds or something, and just see what I could do with it. Now, what we're gonna do, right? We're gonna sort of like export it now. So if we go to Oatspace, build settings. Now, obviously, when I log into Oatspace, it doesn't allow me to log in. So we're gonna have to go around the old route, continue offline. Now we're gonna continue offline to the extent, and we're gonna go around, do a route around it. Now this is a template we're going to be creating. So the template is basically this whole settings, and we can walk on it. We can use our VR headsets. So I've got the Oculus Quest 2 here, and we're going to be able to use that headset to work this map through our headset. So that way we'll be able to see what we've actually created within that aspect. I will do a video on it soon, so definitely watch out for that. So what we're going to do, we're going to call this one for the time being. We're going to call this, well, not template, we're going to change that. We're going to call it Wondrous Forest. Wondrous Forest. Oh, hang on, I've got too many caps locks there. Actually, what we're going to call it, we'll call it Beautiful Forest. BEA, Beautiful Forest 2.1. So 2.1. Then what we do, we're saving this. So this is saved basically in our Unity project. So this should be somewhere on the C drive or the Macintosh drive. That's where it's put it. And then just save. And now what this is going to do, it's going to import the assets, it's going to create the template, and then it's going to create that world that we've created. So it's importing assets now, and then it's building. So it's going to start building and transitioning and compiling the shaders, the dark sides of the nighttime skies, and it's just going to bring it all to life into this massive, incredible world. This is why I really wanted to sort of like build this from start. You can actually put animations in there as well, characters moving around in the world. Obviously some of them use scripts, so you've got to be careful not to use any scripts, because you cannot allow scripts in Outspace. It sucks, I know, but unfortunately that means you won't be able to put water textures in there. There's people doing water textures at the moment, and it's incredible without the scripts. You can do water textures without scripts, but I've not come across it myself yet. I'm still working on it myself as well. Itself, it's just going to resource the monitors, waves, compute them. It's going to basically import everything that I've created into that map. And you're looking around probably 40 megabytes, 80 megabytes, depending on the size of the world that I'm creating. But it is today, Friday the 7th of May. If you've enjoyed this sort of walkthrough tutorial, do put a big thumbs up, guys and girls. It does help making my actual Unity worlds a lot better, making them more exciting for future projects. And yeah, this is one of the projects I'm actually starting to do as well, to build, because I want to make a Halloween map. And I know a lot of people at the moment are starting to build their own Halloween maps already before the 31st of October. Really, October, from the 1st of October should always be the Halloween like month, all the way up to the 31st. It should be a month of it. I know my sister actually, she does like Halloween. She used to do Halloween parties a lot of the times before the pandemic stuff going on, and I've seen some of her stuff. Looks amazing. But at the moment, I've been building all these worlds now for, I'd say, using Unity for probably about 4 months. 2 months, 2.5 months with my new iMac. I haven't even touched my computer I got down here. I've had that switched off about just over 2 months, because I've been working hard, tirelessly, around the clock, building these worlds. Now what it's doing now is bundling, and it's compressing the files down. Then once it's all done, it should say complete at the top once it's all created. And it's doing the nature terrain, and it's diffuse and nature terrains. Because then is the reason why you have to bake the lights in is because you cannot, they haven't got realistic lighting in there at all. No realistic lighting at all in oat space. So it is a bit of a nuisance as well. There are limitations, so baking the lights in to make it look realistic as possible, I mean, it's definitely going to get it to that perfect. Well, I wouldn't say it's perfect, but obviously to that degree, it's amazing what you can do. So we go. So I think it's going to almost complete. There we go. Build complete. Now, that should be it now. That should be the whole complete assets on it. So that will do it for this episode, guys and girls. But anyway, if you guys and girls enjoy the episode into the series so far, do give it a big like, favorite, share, comment and subscribe to the channel, guys and girls, and thanks for watching.